Ever thought about how autoimmune diseases are categorized? Autoimmune diseases, a fascinating yet complex field of study, are conditions where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own cells. The intricate classification of these diseases, often a source of debate, is crucial in understanding their nature and providing apt treatment. Primarily, they are divided into two categories: organ-specific and systemic, each with its unique characteristics and effects. Dive with us as we unravel the mystery behind the classification of autoimmune diseases. Imagine your body as a city and an organ-specific autoimmune disease as a localized storm hitting one particular neighborhood. In the vast metropolis that is our body, each organ represents a unique neighborhood, each with its own distinct role. Now, envision a storm, an organ-specific autoimmune disease that specifically targets one of these neighborhoods, causing chaos and disruption in its path. For instance, let's consider Hashimoto's thyroiditis and Graves' disease. These are two storms that choose to unleash their fury on the thyroid gland neighborhood. They cause the immune system to mistakenly attack the thyroid, leading to either an underactive or overactive thyroid gland. Another example is type 1 insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, or IDDM for short. This storm sets its sights on the pancreatic islets neighborhood, disrupting the production of insulin, a hormone vital for regulating blood sugar levels. In each of these examples, the autoimmune response is localized, focused on a specific organ or region. It's like a storm that decides to pour down rain, hail, and lightning on one neighborhood while leaving the rest of the city untouched. Yet, even though these diseases are localized, their effects can ripple through the entire body, much like how a storm in one neighborhood can disrupt the daily routine of the entire city. So, organ-specific autoimmune diseases are like storms that wreak havoc in one particular part of our body city. Now, envision a systemic autoimmune disease as a storm that engulfs the whole city, not sparing any neighborhood. Just as a storm doesn't pick and choose, systemic autoimmune diseases don't limit their impact to a single organ. Instead, they wreak havoc throughout the body, affecting multiple tissues and organs. Think of systemic lupus erythematosus, commonly known as SLE. This disease is like a wild tempest, causing inflammation and damage in various parts of the body, from the skin to the joints, even the heart, lungs, brain, and kidneys. It's unpredictable, with periods of illness known as flares and periods of remission. Then there's primary Sjögren syndrome, another systemic autoimmune disease. Picture a persistent drizzle that slowly but steadily seeps into every corner. This condition primarily affects the glands that produce tears and saliva, leading to dryness. However, it can also affect other parts of the body, including the joints, digestive system, and nerves. These diseases illustrate how systemic autoimmune conditions are not confined to one neighborhood or organ. Instead, they spread throughout the city, causing varying degrees of damage and disruption. Understanding the broad reach of these conditions is crucial. It informs the approach to diagnosis, guides treatment strategies, and underscores the importance of comprehensive care. In short, systemic autoimmune diseases are those storms that cause chaos across the entire body city. So, what have we learned about autoimmune diseases? Well, we've delved into the realm of these intricate diseases, distinguishing between two distinct types: organ-specific and systemic autoimmune diseases. Remember, organ-specific autoimmune diseases are those where the expression of autoimmunity is restricted to certain organs. Hashimoto's thyroiditis and Graves' disease, both primarily affecting the thyroid gland, and type 1 insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, impacting the pancreatic islets, are prime examples of this category. Contrastingly, systemic autoimmune diseases are not confined to a single organ. Instead, they affect multiple tissues throughout the body. Systemic lupus erythematosus and primary Sjögren's syndrome are classic systemic autoimmune diseases which can influence a diverse range of tissues, from the skin and kidneys to the brain. In both cases, the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its cells, leading to potential damage and dysfunction. The key difference lies in the scope of their impact. Organ-specific diseases target individual organs, while systemic diseases have a more widespread effect. It's worth noting that the classification of autoimmune diseases is not a hard and fast rule. It's a fluid science, constantly evolving with our understanding of these complex conditions. Understanding the classification of autoimmune diseases can give us insights into their diagnosis and treatment. So, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, every storm, no matter how big or small, passes eventually.